Hi, this video will show how to use the Hurricane Aware app. Let's get started in looking at the details of the app. The first thing that I'm going to point out about the Hurricane Aware app is this little question mark up here in the corner. This is where you can find out more information about the app, what it intends to do, and what data feeds the app. So if you're curious about where the data comes from that you're looking at on the map, you can go here and see that the data that's going to be used in this app is National Weather Service forecast for hurricanes, precipitation, and wind gusts, and ACS demographic data from the U.S. Census. It also gives you an idea of how to use the app. So let's get started with looking at the functionality of the app. So we can use this app in a number of different ways. The first thing you can do is you can search by a particular location, or you can select a storm. I'm going to start by selecting a storm. And right now, there's only one storm worldwide that is considered a hurricane, typhoon, or some variation of that. And it's called Fina, which is over here in the area between Indonesia and Australia. So you can see the track there. You can see when you hover on any of these over here, it will flash that area on the map, and you can see what the conditions are at that particular point. So you can just kind of scroll down here and see what's meant to happen when. You can also see the cone of the storm, the impact area of the storm from here. So it's a really useful little app just to get a sense of the track and destination of a particular cyclone, typhoon, hurricane, what have you. The other way that you can search the app is by putting in an address, and I'm just going to put in my current location. And so it will zoom me to about where I live in Millersburg, Pennsylvania. And essentially, you're not going to see that there's any types of conditions associated with a hurricane. However, if you come down here, it's giving us the precipitation right now for Millersburg, the wind gust for the next, 2 days, and then also some population data. So we have an idea of the people that would be impacted if there was a storm going through here. So you can see that you can look at the population data by a census tract or county. Actually, they all filter by census tract or county. So if you want to see in the neighborhood what it's like, and the one thing that's really important to look at is if a vehicle is available, has a disability, the age, and so forth, because that all impacts how people can move away from a particular hazardous situation. And then you have some other variables down here. And while we don't have an example here of a storm going through the United States, the United States in this app is the only country that has census data associated with it. Like when we looked at FINA, there was no demographic data that we could look at, so we couldn't look at the people who would be impacted by the storm. But had that storm been over the United States, that cone that we saw with FINA, you would have seen demographic information for that area so that we clearly understood who the people were in that area that might have to be concerned about a particular storm. So that's just a little bit of an overview of the app. Now, when I like to use this is essentially whenever there is a storm in the news that is being talked about, and looking at it with my class as current events so that we can kind of see GIS in action. We can see that we can look at the location of the storm, the areas that it's going through, the people that will be impacted, and then the demographics of those people that will be impacted. So it's a powerful little app that can be used just to gain a wider knowledge about the storm.